All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're undertaking a high-level strategic briefing designed specifically for business leaders, founders, and top-tier professionals. Look, you already know how to grind, right? You know how to build a business, close a massive deal, and generate some serious revenue. But here's the thing, generating revenue and generating long-term, unshakable wealth, those are two entirely different games. So today, we're looking at the elite playbook, a real, systemic approach to taking the capital you create and literally turning it into a machine that works for you.
So I have to ask, what if everything you've been taught about money is totally incomplete? Think about your traditional education for a second. You were likely taught how to be an absolutely exceptional worker. You learned math, science, maybe some advanced business admin, all designed to help you snag a high-paying role or build a company that pays you a massive salary. But honestly, school teaches us how to grind for a paycheck. It completely misses the structural blueprint of how money actually works. It teaches us how to work for money, but rarely, if ever, how to make money work for us.
Okay, let's dive into this. To completely separate your time from your money, we're going to break this explainer down into 5 core pillars: the myth of earned income, the cash flow trap, the growth multiplier, surviving lifestyle inflation, and finally, the strategic wealth formula.
Starting right off with pillar number 1, the myth of earned income, and exposing the flawed baseline of hard work.
You know, society absolutely loves this narrative that if you just work harder, you'll inevitably get richer. But let's apply some basic logic here. If hard work alone created wealth, the most physically exhausted workers in our society, like the folks pulling 80-hour shifts on construction sites or driving delivery trucks all night, they'd be the wealthiest people on the planet. But they aren't. We need to completely reframe our thinking here. High income is just a business metric. It's simply a measure of your current market value. True wealth, that is a personal freedom metric. As a strategic leader, you've got to stop looking at a massive salary or a huge quarterly distribution as the finish line. Instead, you need to start treating that high income simply as your seed capital.
And that brings us perfectly to pillar number 2, the cash flow trap, and the absolutely critical strategy of capital allocation.
Now, what's really interesting about this next concept is how 2 founders with the exact same multi-million-dollar exit payout can end up in completely different financial realities just a few years later. Picture this 20-year timeline. Executive A gets that massive payout and immediately focuses on maximizing their lifestyle. We're talking the luxury cars, the massive primary residence, the expensive watches, the whole shebang. They're spending their seed capital on liabilities. So they look incredibly wealthy to everyone around them, but behind the scenes, their cash flow is hemorrhaging just to maintain it all. Now, Executive B takes a completely different path. Executive B takes that exact same payout and focuses entirely on accumulating assets, systematizing their cash flow, and building what we call silent wealth. Fast forward 20 years, Executive A is still trapped, forced to keep working to pay for that lifestyle. Executive B, completely free.
It all boils down to a ruthless balance sheet approach. The ultra-wealthy ruthlessly buy assets first. Things like cash-flowing businesses, dividend-paying stocks, rental properties. These are vehicles that put money back into your pocket without your active labor. But the middle class, and frankly, even a lot of high-income earners, they get trapped buying liabilities. High-interest debt, luxury purchases, depreciating assets, things they mistakenly think are assets. They literally buy things that drain their wealth. The rule here is incredibly simple. Stop buying things that take money out of your pocket and start buying things that put money into it.
All right, moving on to pillar number 3, the growth multiplier. This is where we look at deploying capital to work independently.
The absolute secret weapon here is compound growth. It's this beautiful snowball effect where your money, and the money your money makes, generates autonomous cash flow. This right here is the crucial mechanism where a founder finally transitions from grinding endlessly on a hamster wheel to actually planting a money tree. You're no longer trading your limited time for dollars, you're deploying your capital to work independently on your behalf 24/7 without needing holidays or sleep. It's a real game changer.
And this brilliantly illustrates the power of that autonomous growth. Your initial seed capital might look pretty small in year 1, and sure, over the next decade, you'll see steady, kind of linear progress. But by year 20, the magic of the multiplier effect fully takes over, creating exponential wealth that absolutely dwarfs that original capital. The rich don't work for every single dollar they have. They make sure their dollars are out there recruiting more dollars. But to actually let that compounding happen, you need a solid defense. So let's look at pillar number 4, surviving lifestyle inflation, the defensive strategy against a spending society.
As a successful leader, you've got to realize that almost all external systems in our modern society are actively designed to separate you from your capital. Think of your wealth like a bucket of water. You are constantly bombarded by highly targeted advertising, social media status games, the normalization of constantly upgrading to luxury lifestyles, and of course, that ever-present psychological pressure to just treat yourself because, hey, you worked hard, right? This is lifestyle inflation. It's like a leaking bucket, silently and aggressively draining your wealth as your business income rises, which completely prevents you from ever reaching that compound growth stage.
I want to hit you with the stark reality. Every raise, every bonus, every successful exit or profitable quarter creates two distinct choices. Choice 1, become richer. Choice 2, look richer. Now, most people in society, even the really smart ones, instinctively choose option 2. But true entrepreneurs, the ones actually playing the long game, they consistently choose autonomy over appearances. They choose to actually be rich rather than just look the part to impress people they don't even know.
So how do we actually execute all of this? Well, that brings us to our final pillar, the strategic wealth formula. This is the actionable 6-step execution plan. It all starts with financial literacy. And no, this isn't just knowing how to balance a checkbook. It's the strategic understanding of money mechanics. It is arguably the highest paying skill in the global economy. Understanding the intricacies of taxes, strategic budgeting, investment vehicles, and high-level negotiation, that pays far higher dividends over your lifetime than literally any traditional academic subject you were forced to memorize in school.
Let's move to and see how this builds across a realistic timeline. Because we aren't talking about get-rich-quick schemes here. We're talking about architectural wealth building. In year 1, your focus is generating that seed income and ruthlessly saving it. By year 5, you're actively accumulating investments. By year 10, those investments are now compounding assets. And by year 20, you fully attained financial freedom. The system works, but you've got to give the mechanics time to operate. And to walk that timeline, you really just follow a precise 6-step staircase to wealth. Step 1, spend less than you earn to create some margin. Step 2, build a liquid emergency fund so you're never, ever forced to sell assets at a loss. Step 3, avoid bad debt like the plague. Step 4, invest consistently, regardless of what the market is doing today. Step 5, keep learning, continually upgrading that financial literacy we talked about. And Step 6, think long-term. Consistency and immense patience will absolutely always beat out shortcuts, hacks, and luck every single time.
So here's the final challenge I want to pose to you today. The blueprint to financial autonomy is right in front of you. It exists, it is proven, and it works for sure. But just knowing it isn't enough. Transitioning from being just a high-income earner to a truly wealthy individual requires the active, disciplined execution of this exact knowledge. The decision is entirely in your hands. So, will you follow it? I want to leave you with this powerful thought, summarizing everything we've covered in this explainer. Financial freedom is not a destination, it's a system. Stop looking for the finish line and start building the machine. Apply this structural mindset to your personal capital starting today. Look, you already know how to scale a business. The ultimate question is, are you finally ready to scale your freedom?